Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It has been a very long time since I've actually uploaded a video, so please just give me a minute to explain why. Over the last 4 months, my life has changed a ton. I've graduated from college, I moved back to my hometown, and also I've started a full-time job. So I really haven't had a lot of time to just sit around and play Minecraft like I really want to. Over the past 4 months, since work hasn't given me a lot of free time outside of my nights, sometimes I'll go play basketball, I'll go work out, I've learned to cook, and so I haven't been able to just sit down and play as much as I'd like to, although every once in a while, as you guys can see by my armor and by my elytra and all that kind of jazz, that I have been playing every once in a while. I'll play like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, 4 times, not even 4 times, probably 2 times, 3 times a week. And because of that, I haven't had the really inspiration to start recording again, but I am a lot more settled in now into my new job. I'm in my new place, all my new stuff is all set up. I have more of a feel on what my schedule looks like on a day-to-day basis, and so I decided, let's get back to recording, doing something I've always wanted to do and I've always loved doing as well. Since everyone always tells you to follow your dreams, I decided it is time for me to do that as well. So I'm back into recording and I have a lot more time for you guys, and hopefully we'll get out videos more, and we're actually going to start streaming again at a more consistent rate because I'll be able to actually come out with a schedule, which is something I've never had for streaming. So I will gladly put that schedule down below in the video, and also a link to the Twitch channel on which I'll be streaming to. Guys, check it out. If you guys want, come say hi. I love talking to everyone that comes into my stream. Well, with that also being said, I think it's time to show you guys what I've done in the past month and a half, just kind of running around and playing this game as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can see, this is our starter base, and you're getting a little bit of an overview of the area in which I've really created over this past month and a half, which of course we are going to also give you a small world tour and showing you guys around each one of these builds, and I'm super excited to show you guys what I have built so far. So this is the first build I actually created when I first started the world, and the reasoning that this took me so long, even from a beginning standpoint, is because I was using iron pickaxes to get all this deep slate. I didn't have any of the bamboo yet. I couldn't fly around and get a ton of materials like I really wanted to. So this actually took me quite a while to build. And if we go inside, you guys can see that I am running out of places to put chests. My storage room, which is honestly, in my opinion, pretty big, is nowhere near big enough for how many things I actually have in this house. So onto our second floor, this is our potion brewing room. The reason this was ever really created was just so I had an area to have some potions when I fought the Ender Dragon. You know, we got the little candles, which I love that they added these into the game. They can make builds look so much better, and it's such a better form of lighting even for something like a dusk, but you know, I'm gonna get off topic. So, you know, you got the little what is this called? Nether wart farm. If you come up here, this is my bedroom. This is my very first diamond pickaxe. This is my very first sword. Got some totem of undyings in here with the music disc, which I should probably put some form of jukebox in here as well, as just to make this feel a little bit more homey. And this is actually my very first armor that I made in the game as well. So let's continue on to some of the farms that I have for you guys. Is if we come down this way, you will see that this is my iron farm, which was super fun to build, and as you can see, a golem just died, but it was not super fun to gather these materials. Once again, this was a time where I didn't have a lot of diamonds and I didn't have a lot of enchantments, so this was very, very, very hard and very, very time consuming. So if we go down here though, we have the collection system, yep, right here, which is it produces a lot, and I like that I have it underneath my base is because I spend a lot of time here, and this farm always is running, so I'm always in use of iron, and as you guys can see, I have used a ton of iron, and I'll show you guys how much iron I've really used in another one of my farms. So with that being said, let's continue on with the tour. And walking out the back door, we have this building here, which is pretty obvious on which it is. It is my sugarcane farm, which is producing actually quite well at the moment. I believe, yep, we have that. I don't know why it's not going in this chest. Maybe one of the hoppers is messed up. I'll have to figure that out and fix it. But we do have a ton of storage if this ever needs to have that much storage, because I'm probably not going to be using it a ton. And, you know, hopefully it never gets overflown. But if you come down here, you can see this is the sugarcane farm. It is the ugliest thing, but I never really come down here and look at it, so I really don't care that it doesn't look good or is well designed, because it is, as you guys can see, efficient. Continuing on with the pathway, you come down here to this little build, which I love. It's super simple, but I don't know. It just adds a lot, I think, to just this area over here. If you come down here, it's another one of those farms that is underground, and it is actually right next to my sugarcane farm. It is a spider spawner, which also spawns a lot of the axolotls, so if I ever want those guys, they're there. And then another really great thing that this farm does that I didn't even intend for is that it is a glow ink sac farm. So squids will spawn down here sometimes, and it is super nice because now I have glow ink sacs and I don't have to really farm for them. And yeah, I think it's one of the best mistakes I've ever made, because that was not intentional. So it's pretty much 2 farms in one, which, I mean, I really like. So let's continue on. And if we continue down the road, you can see the building in the background, which we'll get to, but I really wanted to show you guys this little bridge and pond area that I just built. I love it. It's super aesthetically pleasing, and it looks so much better than the rest of the area over here. This is all going to be changed, so don't you worry about that. This is one of the more recent things I did, because actually the original thing that was here was my starter farm, so wheat, beets, carrots, potatoes. That was just here, and it would look super plain, but that's over there now, and I'll show you guys that area in a little bit as well. But let's go in here and I'll show you guys what this is. As again, we continue up the road, you guys can probably guess what this one is as well. It's my melon and pumpkin farm. This isn't completed yet. The outside is pretty much done. The lighting's good, and that I'm really happy with it. The entrance isn't done, and then the design in here isn't done, the interior in here, but it does produce a ton of melons and pumpkins, and you guys can see where a lot of these already went, but it's right there. It runs in there and yep, produces a ton. I am going to put a link in the description below, because most of the farms in here I am not the designer, because redstone and farms are not my specialty. I love building, as you guys can tell. This is my design, but this is not. This building is, but the farm itself is not. And even if you come over here, I believe, yep, it's right there, and as you can see, there's the glowstone right there in order to make sure it has enough lighting, and the floor, because this used to be where I had it before. It's just a kind of a mess. We need to work on this. And flying down here, this is our very ugly, very inefficient villager breeder, which I have to manually feed them carrots in order for them to breed. And I am going to design this again. I told you guys there are a lot of projects, and that's why I really wanted to start recording again, because I didn't want this world to get too insane before I really found the inspiration as well, because I've wanted to record for a while. It's just, it hasn't really ever gone to that stage, so I'm glad I am now, and this is a project that we'll work on as well on video. And if we go down below and go at the end of this hallway, you guys can see what I'm using them for. Most of you probably already know what this is. As you see the zombie right there, it is my villager trading hall, which again, another project we really need to work on and make look pretty, because this is kind of done, but you know, there's still a lot of work to it. We got some farming villagers in order to trade whenever we want. I believe I keep my storage, you know, like in here. So I just walk up, yep, talk to me, bam, oh, okay, there we go. And get as much emeralds as I really need. As you guys can see, we also have silk touch, looting, unbreaking, fortune, sharpness. We have power 4, protection 4, infinity. We had feather falling 4, and we had efficiency 5, but I don't know where those guys went. As you can tell, their minecarts are still here, but they are not. We also have mending right there as well. Continuing on with the road, this is my little beehive area. I'm really happy with how it looks out, like it's overgrown. And it's I like it. And if you look up in here, you guys can see it produces good honeycomb because we need the torches. If you come back here, this is how you get in there. And this is, you know, the poppies that breed them. And I have the iron farm, which produces these. So yeah, you guys have seen Minecraft, you know. But if you come back here, we just fill these with shears because they get dropped into these dispensers, which then it shears the honey and then it follows this line of hoppers into those chests. And what's over here? Oh, glass bottles, because I want to get some honey blocks too. Yep, that's another project. Again, we have a lot to work on this world, so that's that. Now to the part of the world which you guys have not seen yet. This is the new farm area. As you can tell, we have a lot of things to still do on this area as well, because we have some of the main ones done. I believe we have all the main ones. We have the potatoes here, wheat's there, wheat, and I believe, yep, that one's carrots. We also have my cow farm over there. And this is going to be a windmill, and we're going to add some trees, and we'll probably add more crops around it. Because, you know, you got to make it look very aesthetically pleasing, but this also takes a very long time to plant this many potatoes. Oh my gosh, I remember building this. This was not fun. I do like how I put, like, the rocks in there and then the bushes, and that looks really cool, and that makes it really fun. But the planting physically of the potatoes was not a good time. And if we come over here, you guys can see this is the farmhouse. Again, another project which we really need to work on because the exterior itself, as you can tell, is kind of plain. It's nothing too crazy. And interiorly, I haven't really done anything either except for light it up to make sure no mobs spawn in here because this was actually a little bit of a mob farm for a little bit. So I'm actually gonna, you know, bam, which, yep. There we go. That's super nice now because now no mobs can spawn in here. I believe maybe that quarter. Well, we don't spend a lot of time in here. But we will do the interior and we will do the exterior for this as well. And if we fly on over here, you guys will be able to see the project I just finished. As you can see, the beacon. This is the new mining area which I just finished. And my gosh, did this take way too long. This was such a pain in order to actually build. I want to add some more ores. As you guys can see, it looks really cool, and we want to build a staircase down, and we want to build a huge crane over this, you know, lifting the materials out of it. That is actually going to be the project I want to work on today. But as you can tell, if we come over here, we have a lot of things and a lot of supplies that this took. So this was a fun project, but it was a very much grindy, weird project. I don't know if I loved it, but I did love creating the outside. As you guys know, I am a builder, so digging the hole isn't fun. Designing the hole is a lot more fun. So that being said, we have 2 more farms to show you, and then I think we can get along with the video. So if we fly over here, I keep my render distance kind of low just because I don't want my game to lag. So that being said, that's why it's super foggy around. But this, as you guys can probably tell, is my creeper farm. I do want to actually design this a little bit better and put like a giant mountain over it that's like coming in through the floor. So yeah, if we swim down here. But what it is it's basically you come and you stand in this hole right here. Creepers spawn on these platforms, and we have a switch. As you guys can see, they're already there. We have a switch that flushes them out. They fall down here into the soul campfires. Yes, I made it. And drop the gunpowder right here as well. What's up, guy? Again, that design is not my design. I will put a link to the description below and where I found the farm. I'm going to have so many links below because a lot of these farms are not mine. I just create them and then I usually build around them. That I haven't yet, but I will. And last but not least, our gold farm. Alrighty, so we are through our nether portal. Down this hallway, I wanted to make it wide enough to fly, so that's why it's really ugly, because, you know, you can just mine it super quick, so I didn't put a lot of time into this, and I'm actually going to design this as well. But down that hallway, we have 2 fortresses, and I believe 1 bastion, so really good area to have this nether portal. But if we come up here as well, which is going to be a long climb, so for you guys, I'm just going to skip it and jump to the top. Bam, and you guys are here. So if we fly up here, which also has a very large ladder, this is the gold farm. Again, not my design. I will put the video in the description below. Blah, blah, blah. You guys know the drill. So this farm is also very loud, so I'm gonna turn this down for you guys while I demonstrate. Bam, bam, bam. I believe I don't have any arrows, but basically you shoot these guys and they'll come and track you, fall into this. They will die because there's 24 mine carts in each one of these things. As you can tell, lots of iron I used, and with all the anvils, lots of iron I used as well. You stand on this platform and the XP flies on to you, and you can level up your tools really quick, and you can get XP super quick as well. I'm not going to really describe it just because if you guys want to build this farm, I want to have you actually watch the video on which I got this off of. So again, video in the description below. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that is everything I have built in the world so far. So let's start jumping in on some projects, and I think we're going to build that crane right now that I want to have over by my new mining area. And I also have one other project we'll want to do for you guys in this video. So let's get to it. So we are at the mine, and I believe we have all the materials that we'll need in order to actually complete this build. I mean, I don't know. I don't really count my materials. I kind of just guess and hope out for the best, as many of you probably already know from my past videos. So let's jump into a time lapse and let's build this crane. Let's go. And just like that, the crane is done. Well, kind of. I still have to do a lot more detailing. Like I'm gonna, change some of these blocks out. I'm gonna add a little trapdoors on the side. But usually when I detail builds, it takes me just kind of a long time to sit there and really make sure the details are making the difference I want to. So I will probably be doing that a little bit off camera, show you guys a little bit. And also, since this is pretty much almost done, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna remove this out. This was basically just so when I built it, I had a platform instead of this being my platform. So this actually helped out a lot. So I'm kind of happy I actually prepped myself for that. So let's get on to actually detailing it a little bit more, adding a little bit more flavor to the build. And then we can remove this and get on our last project for this video. Detailing the builds are pretty easy, honestly. Basically, I'm just going to be doing something like this and maybe add a few more blocks, but you just got to really just texture what you want the build to look like, and just doing something as simple as this can really make the build look 10 times better. I know it sounds really weird. In order to make a build look so less plain is to actually kind of make it look a little bit ruined. So we're gonna add a little bit of this, a little bit more blocks. I think I do want to add, I don't know, all my supplies are down here, so I think I'm gonna add a few buttons, a few trapdoors. I know I have, there we go. Also, as you guys can see, I definitely had to go and collect more resources because once again I completely outdid how long or how many resources this was going to take. But I am glad I did that before I actually did that very first time lapse I've ever really created with the replay mod. So that made this time lapse, I feel, look a lot better. So let's keep doing stuff like this, and then I'll be right back with you guys. Now it is all detailed and actually lit up. I might light up the physical crane itself. I'm not really sure where I would. I think I would kind of have to hide that lighting. I think it's time to actually get rid of all this dirt, and then we can work on our next project, which is we are actually going to make the path down into this thing. We're not going to design the bottom in this episode, but we are going to design the path that is going down the sides of this. So let me clear this out really quick. Alrighty, that looks super good now that that is actually out of our way too. I'm thinking the best way to do this as well is not go from bottom or top to bottom, but from bottom to top, because the staircase will be a lot easier that way. So let's jump into another time lapse. Let me just gather some more materials, because I know I don't have enough of the wood that I want to use, because I'm going to use the dark oak wood to build the circle staircase up. I'm super excited, so let's jump on it. So the staircase is not 100% done, as you guys can probably tell. My type of detailing, this doesn't really finish to me. So in another video, and actually next video, we will start by just getting some support beams going up for each of these, and then also putting some maybe like fences on the wall with some lanterns hanging, maybe some hanging underneath. And we also need to add stairs right here, along with a rail that comes down and is able to take us up or take us down based off of just doing that. And of course, we still need to do the bottom because it is super ugly, and the fact that my beacon doesn't really work right now either because that's covering it. Oh my gosh, this was actually didn't take too long, but it was a really weird like angle to go with, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. That being said, let's go back to my house. So that is actually all the time we have for today's video. Thank you guys for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you want to see more of this series, please hit that subscribe button. I will be trying to upload at least one video a week for you guys. So please remember to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you can get the notifications that this series is continuing. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, see you next time.